So just to recap what I did, I just created a dummy class, my dummy class. I mean, there's nothing much here, just a simple message here, and I try to override the equals method, because my equals, if I don't write this, whatever my demo class hashcode demo, this method will return, it will go to the else block if I don't write it. So I'm writing equals method, where I'm checking, in the first place, see this what I did here, object instance of my dummy class. If both the objects are of the same type, then only this is the input object, right? So whatever I'm giving, that also should be of the same class. Then only I need to go ahead with the comparison. Otherwise, it will go to the, next, it will not enter into the if block at all, and I return false. Now here what I'm doing is, I'm converting, I'm actually like, the object here, I'm saying object, so typecasting it to the object that I require, and then I'm comparing this dot message dot equals, because only data that I have is message. So if I have multiple private properties, I need to do a comparison equals on all of them and return. So this method, when this method returns equals, then hashcode method also should give same value for the equal objects. The hashcode should be same, so that they lie physically in the same place and they are literally same. Otherwise what happens is, someone changes some value, then they may change, it may be possible that our logic may be incorrect. Suppose I may write something like this, and as per my logic, let me now it says as if they are equal, but they are not really equal, right? If when you look at the structure, they are giving altogether different objects. So just by relying on equals method alone, it does not give you real equals thing. They need to be equal in the hash code logic as well. So this is because, the JVM treats them different as different objects. Now what I need to do, I need to correct this particular thing. Cast it to int and do comparison. No, 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 no. I don't need to do that. Equals. Okay. Now the because there is no value there, so that's the reason it's it being 0, that they are becoming equal, but if there is a different value, it will become fail. Okay. So now that's about hash code and equals. They need to go hand in hand, and we need to override. When you are overriding, when you need, many times you will need in a real business scenario. That's actually I wanted to talk about this as part of actually today's class. I'll talk about it anyway a little later. Now moving on, yesterday we looked at the collections classes and collections framework. I'll actually give you this small PDF. This so a map, if you look at a map, now there's some small definitions and about the classes. and you could see that there is a hierarchy. This is an interesting PDF. So I actually gave the link here. Okay, so you can refer from this link. I'll commit the change. So set and array list are fine, right, for you. So now I'll actually talk about the hash map demo. So hash map, if I look at this, it's a key value pair. It is a key value pair. So what happens is, now if you look at array list, it is the index based, dot put. When I say add, sorry, not put, add. Where is my array list demo? See, when I say add, what happens is there is an element added at the 0th location. This is at the 1. This is at 2. So there is a hard-coded mapping. So the key, now if I look at this as, if I look at this um, uh, as a map, then I see that the key is always same and it is integer. Okay. Uh, So as I was talking about this mapping, such as in case of array list, it is a fixed hard-coded mapping that there is a number, integer to object. I mean, but here for now I am storing the plain numbers in the list, but you could actually store any object. It doesn't really matter. So in case of a map, it is a key value pair in a true sense where you could specify the keys and values. Now, how do I get? And I mean, let me show you this. My map dot get object. See here. So the interesting thing is what I did. What did I do? I said map dot get. I'm giving the key value. In case of an array list, we were giving. Okay, we were actually there get and index. Where did I do? Did I use the get stuff somewhere? Yeah, here. See here. I'm doing get and I'm giving index. Get and I'm doing index. Whereas in case of a map, what I do is I give the key. In case of array list, as I mentioned, it is a key value pair. I mean, if array list is primarily an integer to value pair. In case of a hash map, it's actually a map is always about key value pair. So key and corresponding value, key and value. So there is a primary difference, and how we work with the this thing is, you have two different key methods, important methods. One is key set. Key set means we know set, right? So this will return me, key set returns me a set of all the keys. And can you tell me what are the keys here? Keys here in this case.
Hari and Srikanth.
Yeah, Hari and Srikanth are the keys, and the values will be Java training and testing, right? So that's what, you get a set of that particular thing. Now I could see I iterated, say IR equal to key set dot oh, can you see my screen? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Suddenly the screen got disappeared. So, okay, fine. Let me import this class. Now I'll just print the keys and to be clear. Next, I'll ask you one question. The values in the okay. The keys in the map is Hari and Srikanth. The values in the my map is Java training and test, and then Hari is mapped to Java training. That is, I think, okay. That's because this value is there at the end. Okay. So um, now my question is that look at this line and look at this line. In case of a keys, there is a key set, and in case of values, there's something called values, and that is returning me a collection. Here it returns a set, and here it returns a collection. Why? Any guesses? Why is that they are not same? Why is that keys should be set? Any guess?
Because there should be no coincidence between the keys. Like it has to eliminate the duplicate keys. So that's why representing as a set.
Perfect. Yes, yes, yes. The key should be unique. There should not be no duplicates. That is the reason. It is a set, and the values could be same as well. It doesn't really matter. Values could be same as well. Let me change the keys. Let me change the value. Say suppose I just write correction term. Now here it looks like I have 4 different elements, but when it comes to the demo, when you run this program, see here, only 3 objects are there. and when I repeat the mapping, when I say first, when I'm putting Srikanth and test into this, and then I put Srikanth and collections demo, this line overrides the value of Srikanth object, in this one. So that is the reason in the demo you will see that collections demo, and you cannot see, in the values map, I don't see that particular value. I don't see that particular value. But I repeat this for 3-4 times, still I will have, I'll have the same thing. It will not have any impact. Rather, maybe let me see. Uh, Now you see, when I write something else and I change the key to Srikanth 1, I see that both Srikanth and Srikanth 1 and collections demo 1 as well, along with collections demo. So the mappings hash map primarily stores key value pair, and this value keys are always unique, and it does not allow you to add a null value as well. It should be throwing an error. Oh, it does object accept. Let me see how is it going to run. Oh, it does take null as well, but I don't think it will really take. Yeah, this also null is also treated there as a single object, and when if I put multiple null keys there, it will still treat that as a single null. One single null is there, so it is nothing to do with null. I was wrong. I thought it will actually throw error. Fine. So that's about the key value pairs logic. Now the interesting part is this clear? I mean, there will be some other methods. There will be obviously some other methods on the map. Let me come here. My map dot contains key. So I think these methods are self-explanatory. Contains key means whether a given key is there or not. I can check, I can give Hari, Srikanth, Suji or null and say contains key, it will return true, and any other value it will return false. Contains value. You look at the right hand side, the values only. If the value is there or not, based on that, it will, it will return true or false. Mapping contains map. This is backed by the map, so entry set returns a set view of the mappings contained, and the set is backed by. I'll check this out and get back to you on that. It equals a visa get. You give the key and it returns a value, and get class as it returns the particular class. We will look at that in the reflection spot. Hashcode. We saw hashcode method. Then is empty, whether the map is empty or not. Key set. Then notify all. This basically they are for the synchronization part or the threads related stuff. When they come from java.lang.object. Suppose if if a thread, if a thread is working on one particular object, so I can actually talk about this particular thing as part of our threads. Suppose when I am doing some logging, so the moment I am done with this thing, what I could say is s1 dot notify or notify all. So when I do this method, when I call this method, what really happens is my first thread, look at this class. Within the first thread, I took the lock, exclusive lock on this object, and I'm done with the usage of it. I used it. So if at the same time, if there are multiple threads that are trying to access these objects, then they will be actually in the queue, they will be waiting. So when the moment I am done with my work, I want to tell them, hey guys, I am done with my work. You come back, and this object is ready for you. Just to say that, we say that notify. When we call notify, all the waiting threads, one of them will be picked and it will be notified. And there is a notify all method. Notify all method will notify all the all the threads that are waiting for this object. When I do, okay, these are, that is the usage of this particular thing. There's nothing specific to hashmap such as, but very generic, not only for hashmap but for any object it works. Now put already we saw. This is a method you send, put all is, if you have some other map, and I want to add all the map elements to this map, whatever map that I'm using, my map, and I just want to dump everything from another map into this, I can use this. Remove is a method. If you give the key, if I want to remove a particular thing, say suppose my map dot remove Hari, I give the key and it removes that particular entry, key value pair completely. Size will return size, how many elements are there. ToString, values we saw already. ToString is a string format of every object. This comes from java.lang.object, and as we saw, equals and hashcode method. Sometimes it actually adds a lot of value to have ToString also if you override the ToString method, that because when you do system.out.println and give some object instead of a plain string or primitive types, if I give object, generally some junk text gets printed there. That's actually not the hash code but the ToString. It prints some generic value and if you don't want to have that and rather have actual data that you want to display, then you need to override that method. Again, that's actually nothing specific to hashmap such as values we saw. Wait, this again, when you are sharing, when you are waiting for a lock, then this methods again related with the rest related stuff. Okay, so this is about map. So now I'll actually explain what is generics. Any questions on this?
No.
Okay, so generics, now if I look at suppose if I look at even this map itself, I can say that now here it is letting me use, rather like let me do this string key equal to string of ir dot next. Okay, it did not throw really any exception. Let me say, what is it? The key, I'm putting a different object. I just want to show you an exception. Why? the key. Oops. How is this able to? Until I'm expecting a class cast exception. Right, yeah. Surprising. Why did it not come before? Okay, I think it did not compile the code or so. See here, now it is possible that at times you may get this particular exception. You may get this particular exception. What is this exception? It says java.lang.classCast exception. This is a, what type of exception it is? Tell me. What type of exception it could be? Because I'm not using any try catch block, so it could be because the compiler is not throwing anything about try catch.
Unchecked.
Sorry?
It's an unchecked exception.
Exactly. It is unchecked exception. It is a runtime exception. Because otherwise it will immediately throw that, there is an exception possible, was you either throw this exception back to the caller using throws keyword, or you do a try catch. Okay, so now if I look at this particular block, it is possible that it is a very generic situation. You may map or list or set, you may put any type of objects, and the problem will be when you are trying to retrieve, when there are heterogeneous objects, when there will be problems. So in order to sort that out, the collections have, and actually okay, for now let's focus only on the collections. The collections have a feature called generics. Now let me do something. I copy this the same hashmap demo, and Control V. This one. Okay. Perfect. And okay. So now how I will actually change this is, look at this. I want to make sure that my key value pairs, I want to fix what type of key it is, what type of value it is. And when I don't specify, you see that there is a yellow icons here. The method, there is no type safety. It could be, it is possible that wrong type of different type of objects can be inserted, and compiler will not throw any error, right? And you will get runtime exceptions, unchecked exceptions, while executing your logic. Okay, that we have seen in case of a regular demo. Now let us look at this. Says I try to, you need to specify your type in this approach. Put, less than and greater than here, and then in the middle, because in this case I need key value pairs and key to be string. I say here string, and value to be string. I say string, and Hash map also I need to declare in the same way. See, only this part is extra. Only this part is extra in the both the sides, variable as well as the object, specific object. Now this is how this is actually called generics, where you specify the specific type of it as per the requirement. See, the map object is generic only, but for this map variable, in the sense my map, how I want to declare in this particular scenario is that key and value to be strings. I don't want to accept anything other than this, and that is the reason you see this error. Say that this method put string string in the type map string string is not applicable for the argument my dummy class. Here was you are giving a key, wrong key, that's you are giving some dummy my dummy class, that's a key, you are creating an object and giving it here as a key, and it doesn't work. And that is what, sorry, and that's the reason you actually get to see this error. This line throws error because my map object accepts only string data. Okay, so this is applicable for everything. This is applicable for everything. So I can create, let me create a list of, say, integer equal to new array list just I need to import the required statements. Now if I try to add, it will throw immediately, it will not, it will throw compilation error. See here, it clearly shows the message as well. This is how they implemented generics. Generics is more a compile time feature, in the sense you need to understand this word compile time feature, because it shows errors in the compile time itself. While you write your code, that time itself it will show errors. Whereas if you don't use generics, there are no problems at the compile time. But when do we have the problem? When do we have the problem? When we don't use generics? During the runtime, right? Yeah, during the runtime you have problem. So you want to get rid of that kind of situations, and here there is a type safety. Type safety means that it's actually checks for the type required type is there or not. In case of without non-generic collections, the type safety is not there, any type of object is allowed. So generics is primarily used for type safety, to make sure that right type of, it is more like putting an entrance exam and then giving admissions to the class, so that you only get the people who have the same orientation to attend the class, they are qualified for it, instead of a open for all kind of thing. So here it's the same thing. So similarly for list, and then what is the other thing, set. Suppose if I have new hash set, Now I try to add number, it doesn't accept. It doesn't accept. That's primarily because you declared that set, with a generic statement that only string is accepted. Only string is accepted. Okay, and it throws error. So this is an interesting part. And if I now let me look at this particular, here, whenever you see that, the list, the interfaces or classes, you see this E element here. That's actually like, let's just say that, it is that, you can specify any type there, and the latest collections, they always need you to specify the type we support. If you don't specify, that's actually old implementation, and that implementation does not throw any error. But you see that the list is a raw type. References to generic type list E should be parameterized. Array list is a raw type. References to generic type array list E should be parameterized. It shows a warning. It shows a warning, but not an error. It shows a warning. So we actually, if you look at this particular diagram, see some of them I did not really discuss about it. Maybe please check them out. Linked list is the same linked list concept that you have in C programming, where you will have one object linked to next object, next and preview kind of thing. You have the similar implementation in Java, and array list is something that we looked at. Copy on write array list. Copy and write array list. Okay, there is something about the java.util.concurrent. I'll not really discuss that now, or not in the generics, sorry, in the collections class. But what you have is java.util.concurrent is a new package that came recently. I think it's Java 1.5 or 1.6. This came up, and there you have, suppose if you have a collection object that is operated by multiple threads, then collections are by default methods, and the collection objects are not synchronized. So there will be some surprising results, because when two threads modify same object, say one thread is trying to add, another thread is trying to remove, and end result will be messy, and you cannot predict the output. Sometimes it may go really wrong. So to avoid that kind of thing, there you have collections on the concurrent package. So there are some certain set of classes there. You could see that this is copy on write array list, and then map wise, you see map concurrent map, and the implementation concurrent hash map, and then concurrent, what is this, that is a different thing, navigable map. Then you have concurrency skip list map, tree map. So you have, see, these are the interfaces, the blue ones. The I is specified, I means interface, and the class C means a class. Okay, so this is actually list of other classes that you have within the collections framework. So I request you to go back, because discussing about each topic, or the each class will take some considerable time, and I want to actually give you an introduction of what are collections and how we really work with the collections. And also we did just brief introduction about collections framework, sorry, the generics framework as well. So they actually gave the complexity. You can discard, or like, it depends on you. If you are interested, you can look at this. So the complexity is about, if you are talking about, for each method, if say for important methods, say get, and order of 1 means it will, order of 1, it should be order of n, right? If there are n objects, then it may take. Okay. In the map, it was order of one, and then here as well. Copy and write array list order of n. Set. Hmm. Okay. Order of one actually means that when array list has order of one for the get method, meaning if I'm trying to get one particular object at a particular location, it directly refers to that particular location or particular given key mapping. But you see this order of n contains method. Contains method means it has to search across all the objects. So the in the worst case it will take n. I mean, if I have say 5 fields, 5 keys, I mean 5 objects into the list, then in the worst case I need to search 5 times. The best time could be that it may be the first element and it may be immediately first call, I mean first check itself, it may you may get it. But generally order is a performance or the complexity of the particular algorithm or method, is that we represent that it's a big word notation where we say what is that the possible number of what to say it's actually space complexity and time complexity. In this case, that many times it will actually loop through. Okay. So you may discard if you are not so clear about this the performance part of it, but otherwise this hierarchy of classes, this is very important thing, and we are going to use these collections in many of the our classes going forward, especially when we build a small web application. We are going to have this thing in place. We are going to use lot of collections. Okay, so this is about collections. Please go back, maybe I'll email as well this particular PDF file. I'll email you, and and you practice and get back to me with questions tomorrow. And this is still running.